Welcome to The Know. I'm Ashley Jenkins.
I'm John Reisinger.
This is Bella. Nintendo was no doubt riding high after yesterday's reveal of their new portable home console, the Switch. The internet reacted with wallet-throwing memes, photoshops of the Switch as a cute puppy dog, and the trailer quickly became the most watched YouTube video for Nintendo of America ever in one day.
But this is the video game industry where it's dangerous to go alone, and the backlash is always lurking around every corner. Gamers are now reacting to some less than favorable details about Switch, including its supposed battery life, touchscreen functionality, and the timeline for future details. Here's a hint, you're going to be waiting a while to learn more.
And it's not just gamers stirring at the negativity. According to reports, analysts are claiming the system just isn't innovative enough, and even Nintendo's investors were underwhelmed by yesterday's reveal.
Yeah, the backlash, it comes for everybody.
You die a hero or you live long enough for the internet to hate you. Following the announcement of Nintendo's new console on Twitter this week, Nintendo investors were so excited at whatever harebrained schemes Nintendo had in store for the masses that more than $1 billion in valuation was added to the company.
In the hours following their creepy stalker Mario peeking behind the curtain tweet, stock prices rose 4.6% due to all the hype, but that excitement over a potential money-printing Nintendo machine didn't last for very long because by the end of the day, yesterday, Nintendo share prices plummeted 6.5%.
Ouch.
Yeah.
So apparently investors hate Skyrim, Mario, and friendship. I guess they wanted some more waggling because that's innovation right there. So that 6.5% is an even steeper dip than the company's share prices saw after the reveal of the Wii U, just in case you were wondering, which means they're more underwhelmed by this than they were with that system.
Ouch.
Investors can suck it.
Yeah, analysts aren't exactly feeling the need to switch either, with a number of them weighing in negatively on the announcement.
Yeah, one strategist from Japanese firm Okasan Securities said that it wasn't surprising enough, calling it largely in line with previous speculation. Oh, come on! You're from a company that's named after a bird and had a boyfriend. Another analyst from Superdata said that they had reservations about its wide appeal. Plus, Dr. Serkan Toto, a noted Nintendo analyst out of Japan, went even further, asking who else but die-hard Nintendo fans will buy the Switch. Et tu, Toto?
There's a lot of die-hard Nintendo fans. We all know to take what analysts say with a grain of salt, but gamers have been a part of the skepticism too, especially as new details trickle out from Nintendo.
We're part of the problem too.
Yeah.
While the Wii U made backwards compatibility a priority with Wii games, that doesn't really seem to be the case at all with the Switch, according to a new interview with Famitsu. When asked about whether or not Wii U or 3DS games would get some kind of backward compatibility, Nintendo said no. And because the Switch isn't a successor to either platform, but something different. I'm sorry, I didn't mean no to you. I meant they're saying no about the backwards compatibility.
But that's not too surprising when it comes to Wii U games, since Switch clearly doesn't have a disc drive. I'm gonna put the dog down now.
Aw,
but some were definitely hoping that Nintendo would find a way to download your old Wii U games with proof of purchase. However, it's a little surprising that the 3DS won't have any backward compatibility, considering the Switch also uses cartridges.
Yeah, but they're probably different shaped cartridges.
What?
So there is, of course, always the possibility that Nintendo does plan on releasing most of those Wii U titles by way of virtual console. They've been doing that with a lot of classic Game Boy games, for example. But then again, it also seems like they're planning on some aggressively enhanced ports of Wii U games, potentially.
Aggressively enhanced.
Well, I mean, you're getting like new hairstyles for Splatoon, unless it's an entirely new Splatoon that's made exclusively for Switch.
Hair is aggressive.
It's aggressive.
Another area, yeah, mine and my dog's, which is floating all around
Everywhere.
the studio now. Another area where Nintendo isn't being quite so forthcoming has to do with whether or not Switch will feature a touchscreen, while previous rumors claimed that it would, in fact, be a touchscreen, and a multi-touch screen at that. Nintendo has declined to comment on touchscreen functionality on multiple occasions, both to IGN and Ars Technica.
However, one Nintendo insight in particular, Laura Dale from Let's Play Video Games, who broke a number of Switch stories over the last few months and has been right on the money the last couple weeks, is still claiming this to be a major part of the system, just not something Nintendo wants to highlight at the moment. Okay. Probably still differentiating from the Wii U as much as possible.
Oh yeah. Dale also claimed on Twitter yesterday that the system will get additional power from the docking station. Nintendo has insisted that the brains are in the handheld and the docking is merely there for video output, but they also didn't explicitly state that the docking station doesn't provide any more power.
Yeah, so it's all kind of fuzzy right now.
Yeah.
But there's a downside to that same insider report because Dale is also claiming that the battery life of the Switch is just mediocre. And according to her, it's somewhere around 3 hours.
Whoa!
I know. That's not mediocre, by the way, based on multiple reports from within Nintendo manufacturers and AAA third parties. 3 hours? I mean, there's there's mediocre, and then that's worse than the PSP, and the PSP was a running joke for its battery life.
Yeesh. If you're hoping that Nintendo is going to comment to clarify this stuff anytime soon, well, you're out of luck. Judging from some details released by Dale and others like Takashi Mochizuki, a technology reporter for the Wall Street Journal, we won't be getting any other concrete details about the Switch, like price, launch lineup, and specs, until 2017 at the earliest.
And they got a holiday to run right now.
Yeah.
So that'd give them just a few months to build hype for their system as it comes out in March, which is kind of surprising since so much of the system's success will hinge on its price being in line with other consoles.
Yeah.
Analysts seem to agree $300 is probably the sweet spot, and we have to find out what games it launches with too.
Yeah. Well, it sucks to play Nintendo's waiting game again.
We'll just leak everything like we did before they announced it.
More than likely, they're just going to try, not to interrupt their own chances of moving units over the holidays. They've still got Pokemon Sun and Moon coming out next month, for instance, so, they want to sell those.
Yes, they do. Plus, holding off on these types of announcements isn't as big of a deal these days. Sony just did something similar with the PS4 Pro, giving it 2 months before they detailed and gave out pricing information. Although, to be fair, that was an upgrade to an existing console rather than an entirely new concept.
Yeah.
So, little different.
Yeah, some of this may seem like bad news to Nintendo faithful, but apparently the Big N still, we should not call it the Big N, still has surprises in store for the Switch that they're keeping under wraps, at least according to one spokesman who talked to the Wall Street Journal.
As for what those could be, it might be some of the technical specifications that they're still trying to nail down, like the touchscreen for instance, and perhaps even motion controls as earlier rumors suggested.
Yeah, and knowing Nintendo, probably 1 or 2 other features that we still aren't expecting. At E3, they were extremely worried about competitors taking their ideas, so it's possible they're holding on to the best stuff until the last possible moment.
Amiibo. Yeah. As for the response from analysts and investors, this is the kind of thing that we've seen happen again and again. After the announcement of the Xbox One S, there was the analyst from DFC Intelligence who claimed that Microsoft killed the S right out of the gate by announcing Scorpio at the same time, and look how wrong that's turned out to be. Microsoft's leading the PS4 and console sales per month for the last quarter in the US, largely because of the S.
Seeing stocks drop after announcements or release is nothing new either. It's not uncommon for Apple stocks to dip following the release of an iPhone, mostly because investors get themselves super worked up, only to be met with the reality of the market.
It's like hype.
Yeah, it's just a value correction. These things tend to spike right before they dip, so most of the time it just means everything is leveling out.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see exactly what some of these surprises are that Nintendo still has up their sleeves for Switch, and how they navigate some of the pain points that consumers are already expressing about the system's unknowns.
So, what do you guys think of the unsurprising and inevitable backlash to the Nintendo Switch? Stop chewing on
Bella,
whatever you're chewing on.
What are you eating?
Let us know in the comments.
And for future updates on all things related to the Nintendo Switch, sometimes brought to you by doggies, like this video and subscribe to The Know. Hi. Yeah, hi. We only invite John to co-host because sometimes he'll bring you.
Yeah.
Yeah. One strategist. Redemption dog.
Yeah. All right.
I'm still, I think that a lot of the puppy stuff comes from the fact that she's still so soft.
Yeah, she's got puppy fur.